beautiful.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Good to see you. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. This is who I'm sitting next to. This is about to be fun.
Hey. We're gonna talk about all things fashion, the good, the bad, the ugly.
I took it to the next level with my first design, the fancy stiletto, the clear Cinderella pump. I did that first design, and then here we are.
I think when we left the early 2000s, we were like, we're never gonna revisit that shit again. And then it's like, it's back now, but it's chic, you know what I mean?
Every
Like,
decade says that.
Black people control culture, media, what's trending naturally. So I think if we were to have the people in the rooms and the offices that create the decision that look like us, the conversations would be more focused on the artist.
Right.
For sure.
When people say negative things about me, I go and like their comments. I can't stand him. I'm like, girl, I can't stand him either. You know, just like.
Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I am so excited that you're joining us for this very special fashion episode of Recipe for Change. But I have to know, what do you have in store for us tonight?
So there's a 3-course menu. The first course is gonna be a raw fish crudo, kind of inspired by like my travels to Thailand.
Amazing.
And then the second course, the main course, is gonna be me. It's gonna be Korean barbecue, not me literally, but but my childhood, which is Korean barbecue. And it's gonna be a short rib dish with a little panchan, little side dishes, and it's gonna be like a very Korean forward dish.
Amazing.
And then the dessert is gonna be another childhood dish that I love. It's actually a drink called Calpico. It's like a probiotic drink from Japan.
Very
and I turned that
cool.
into ice cream with strawberries.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to try it.
Yeah, so who's coming today?
So we have a very special fashion crowd. I'm so excited for you to meet all of them. We have Law Roach, we have Sergio Hudson, we have Asia Ware, and Ade Samuel. We also have Jessica Rich, who's another shoe designer just like me. I have a suspicion they're all going to love what you're cooking, and I cannot wait.
I hope so.
Oh my gosh, I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Hi,
How
we're
are
here.
you? How's the food doing?
It'll be great. Should we sit? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Please take a seat. Hi, guys. How are you? Good to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
Good,
Hi.
Good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, guys.
Hi, love.
Hi. So good to see you.
So good seeing you.
How are you? Good to see you. So good to see you.
Yes. This is who I'm sitting next to. This is about to be fun.
Thank you so much for coming. I am so excited for this Recipe for Change. We're gonna talk about all things fashion, the good, the bad, the ugly. And to kick it off and keep the conversation flowing, I wanted everyone to take one of the questions on this scroll. You wanna start?
Sure.
All right, let's do this. H, can you tell us what's in front of us right now? This looks amazing.
So this first course is a hamachi crudo. It's kind of based off of my travels to Thailand, non-prick style kind of vinaigrette. There's chive oil, mangoes, fried shallots, coconut, Thai basil, and I generally like to do like a fork and spoon situation, so you get a little bit of like the broth and the sauce with a little piece of the mango and the fish and kind of eat it one bite in. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.
H, thank you so much.
Thank
This looks
you.
so amazing.
A first bite.
So amazing.
Right.
That's great.
It's delicious.
Asia,
Yes.
you have the first question.
I do.
Do you want to kick us off?
Are you ready?
I'm kind of scared, to be honest.
So, what trend from the past few decades do you hope never comes back?
Wow.
Bell-bottom pants on guys. I'm sorry.
I love bell-bottom pants.
I know, but okay, I like
It's
them
so
like,
sexy.
but when they're really, really wide, like the ones James Harden is wearing, those are the ones I don't like. The really big ones.
Not
Like
call
the
out a name.
Yeah.
I love it. With just like
I do love
a
it too.
tank top, a bell-bottom pant, a nice belt. I love to see black men dressed like that too. Love, yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Mine is really the micro mini skirts. And it's maybe because I have a booty. But
I'm
when
like,
that
I got too much booty for that.
I got too much booty. When that trend came out, I was like, oh, it looks so good. Miu Miu killed it.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't wear it. And every time I saw someone with it, it really was just a no for me. So I don't want that trend to ever come back because it's not inclusive enough.
Everyone.
Well, for me, it's men and skinny jeans. Like, they look like they got their girlfriend's jeans on.
Yeah, they
I
be
never
They're too
cared.
tight.
You don't like skin
Yeah.
tight?
I like tight, but not like
Not
super
skin
tight.
tight.
Yeah.
No.
Too tight. Like too tight's too much. But tight, I like a fitted pant. Oh my guys.
A trouser, like, a
Yeah.
great fit, but not jeans, like with sneakers. It's like skinny legs and big feet.
Right.
No.
In my mind, any trend that has lived before can come back in a more chic way. I think when we left the early 2000s, we were like, we're never gonna revisit that shit again. And then it's like, it's back now, but it's chic, you know what I mean?
Every
Like,
decade says that.
you know,
Yeah.
so I think everything can be revisited just in a new guise.
Right. Who's got the next question?
Okay, guys. Is there an iconic fashion moment in culture that changed your life or perception of fashion?
Whoa.
I guess I'll answer that one first. For me, I would say PVC. When it came back, when Kanye started doing the PVC with Yeezy, that's when I personally tapped in on that trend and I took it to the next level with my first design. Making me who I am today with the fancy stiletto, the clear Cinderella pump. I did that first design and then here we are. So I would say PVC for me.
I love that. For me,
Yeah.
I feel like my first concert ever of my life was Destiny's Child. And I just, it was like, I loved it. And I just feel like seeing them in like the army fatigue and everything, like I just remember being a preteen and I was like, I love, and just knowing Tina's story behind the looks and everything, yeah. That was me being like, I want to do something like this.
Love that.
Yeah.
One look that's etched in my mind forever is Rihanna when she wore that like Swarovski dress to the CFDA
Oh, of
Awards that
course.
Adam Selman made with like the
Iconic.
pink fox fur.
That was a moment.
Totally. And I remember looking in that moment and being like, oh my God. And then finding out that it was Adam Selman. And I'm like,
Wow.
whoa, it's this like very young designer that just totally took a chance and also took her. And like, it just was magic to me. And I think it was so beautiful.
Yeah. What I kind of took away from this moment, becoming a stylist, you know, years after, was Elizabeth Hurley with the Versace dress. And she was just the guest. She was on somebody's arm and she became a superstar from making that choice and wearing that dress. And then for me, it gave me a sense of how powerful fashion could be. You know, the right dress on the right girl at the right time can just cause pandemonium and change people's lives. And I think I took that into my career and I always kind of kept that in the back of my head, right dress, right girl, right time. And, you know, things could happen,
Right.
you know.
I would say one that really changed my fashion career and perspective was when I got to be a part of Black Panther. I feel like that was such a important moment for Black history and fashion. I just always remember it was a men's client and I did something that felt unique. You know, it was inspired by Virgil, you know, when he was with Louis Vuitton and he had this idea to put a harness over a men's suit. So one of my clients, we customized this harness over his suit for award season. And this was the first time I would say that I got like such backlash. Like, what the heck?
Oh,
This is
no.
not how you dress a man for red carpet season. But then I got a lot of positive. But overall, what changed for me was this idea of having fun on the carpet when it came to menswear. And we started to see menswear, like, you know, men like Timothée Chalamet playing with the red carpet and not being in just like a suit. And that is one of the moments for me personally that I think about often.
Love that.
I think for me, it was a 1992 Versace ready-to-wear fall collection, and that was the bondage collection. To the world, that's like the most iconic Versace collection ever, but at that time, it was such an uproar in the industry because to everybody, it was like, he's so disrespectful, it's so bad for women, it was so ugly and terrible. Like, everybody trashed it, but the collection sold so well that people had to accept, and it shifted the industry. And I remember looking at those women, I didn't even know what bondage was. I didn't know why they had all these chains and all these things. I was like
Straps
8
and
years
buckles.
old, but I just knew it was beautiful, and it changed me forever. It solidified who I wanted to be, for sure.
I think I'll go next. Let's see. Can you recall a time when you were impressed or disappointed with the diversity at a runway show or editorial shoot? I'll let the designer start with that.
Wow. Following fashion since literally I was about 4 years old, since the late 80s. You come out of an era where there's designers like Gianfranco Ferré and, you know, Saint Laurent who adored black women, and you would like watch a Ferré show and there would be more black women than any other race. To go from that to heroin chic to the early 2000s, which was literally no diversity on the runway. And I think the problem that I have now, we have diversity, but it's performative.
Absolutely.
And the performative diversity to me is almost worse than the none at all. Because it's like a slap in the face. As an African American that works in fashion, what we are fighting for now is to be normalized, not to be a prop.
Right.
For me, as a stylist, to reach the level that I was able to go to, I heard other people like, well, I don't want to be known as the best black stylist or whatever. And they were like, well, how do you feel about that? I was like, if people say I'm the best black stylist, then I love that because I never wanted my greatness to outshine my blackness. Because I feel like they go hand in hand. So if you see me as the best black stylist, then for you, I'll be the best black stylist. Sometimes we get confused with things being racist. And sometimes I think it's not always racism, it's that people want to work with people that they're comfortable with. And if there never was a Sergio, or there never was a Law or Aurora or Ade or Jessica, then they never have the experience of working with people who don't look like them, right? Honestly, want you to say that's the best black stylist so that when people who come around you that look like me, you know that we are capable of doing the same job that they do. You know what I mean? So, but I think as far as the industry, I'm more concerned with the back end, right? What's going on behind the runway, right? Who's making the real decisions, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's where we fight, is power and money, right? And when you build enough equity, you can really change things, you know? And so what's happening in the boardroom, I think, is more important.
I think when we talk about financial equity, it's really about who's on the board, right? Like, who owns the business?
Absolutely.
And even some of our black designers that have been really celebrated over the years haven't even been able to own their business because of lack of access to capital. And it's also crazy because when you look at a lot of the successful fashion brands globally, right? A lot of them are powered by black dollars, right? And also black celebs. And we kind of feed into this fashion machine that at the end of the day, like, isn't really giving back to us.
Anything.
And that part, I think, for me, is hard.
Well, what I was gonna say is, you know, the boardroom is so important. And I think because I'm a businessman, I'm not one of those creatives who just wanna make pretty dresses. I need money. And I'm trying to build a legacy and I'm trying to change things so the next person that comes up won't have such a hard time seeing someone that looks like them. When I did my first round of buying appointments, literally every luxury store that exists came to my buying appointments. And I saw not one black buyer. I was like, this is the problem. Like, we can sell the clothes at the store. You go into the stores and you see them, but you
We can sell the clothes, we can wear the clothes, we can buy the clothes. Yeah, but we don't make any decisions.
Yeah, like, I think what you're saying about the boardroom is so important. Real change is money. And the money in fashion is the brand. And we have no black brands that sit on those levels. So we have no leverage and no power in this industry. And that's just the fact. Because they have all the money. And if we don't have any of that, how can we ever truly have power?
Okay, chef, what do we have in front of us? Next course.
So this is a take on Korean barbecue. We have a 60-hour braised short rib with like a Korean barbecue sauce. There's soy sauce pickled onions, there's kimchi, and there's a lot of greens. There's perla leaf, buttercup lettuce, and the traditional way that I used to eat as a kid is like you take some of the lettuce and you take a piece of meat and some kimchi and a little onion, and this is called a thumb wrap, but you basically just want to shove this whole thing in your mouth. And like, as a kid growing up, we always just like try to make the biggest one and try to see, but you have to like eat it in one shot.
Oh my God, how is it?
So good.
Very good.
Delicious.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Wow,
It was so good.
It's good.
this is amazing. Okay, guys, we've kind of been touching on this. What would the industry look like if more luxury brands were run by marginalized groups?
I mean, first we have to get to a place where we put our brands to the place where they're considered to be luxury. First of all.
Will that ever happen?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But it all goes back to money.
Lack of
Money,
access.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Well,
we
We don't have
own the
access to
money,
the capital.
and if we
Then-
had the power,
Then yeah.
Black people control culture, media, what's trending naturally. So I think if we were to have the power and the people in the rooms and the offices that create the decision that look like us at this table, I really think there would be a shift of the conversation being so race-focused and more focused on the artist.
Right.
Who are these designers? Where are these designers? Because there's so many of them. I'm Nigerian, and Lagos Fashion Week has taken off. Our culture, African designers have taken off in such a huge way this year, but they didn't just exist starting this year. I just think it would be a different conversation, and not saying obviously race will still exist because it's been existing
Right.
outside of fashion, but I just think the conversations would be more geared toward the artist.
I totally agree. And so until we can have the Black community and the wealthy Black community, right, which largely is new because there's not a lot of Black people who are born into generational wealth in this country because we haven't had enough time to start amassing that in America, right? So until we can get wealthy Black people to become benefactors of the arts,
Yeah.
this is not going to change.
I speak to so many of my Black designer friends and, up and coming contemporary designers, and they always talk about this financial need or support. But the reality is, do we have space for that? Are they creating space within the industry? I don't know. I just think a lot of it is performative, and I'm just waiting for the real change to exist. And I think the people that have the capital are not ready to
Take a
support.
chance on it. Yeah.
Last Fashion Week at New York Fashion Week, I got the most views and screens on Instagram of any brand.
Congratulations.
Literally any
Yes.
brand.
Congratulations.
But you didn't know that, did you?
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm literally fighting for a time at Fashion Week that I had for 2 seasons, and a bigger white-owned brand came along and said, I want this time, and I had to give it to them.
Oh, no way.
Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is, when you live the life of a Black designer, you're constantly trying to prove that you're worthy to sit next to these brands. And who does that to us the most is us. When I interact with the celebrities that I dress, and I dress a lot of celebrities, when I interact with the stylists that I interact with, I'm constantly feeling like, I know if Donatella called you and asked you this question, you would not give her the reply that you gave me. You get what I'm saying? So I think we as a people, we have to stop treating each other like we're cousins and we owe each other something.
But
Something more.
I think what we have to do first is break these curses and the way that we were taught to look at each other. Right. That goes back
the core.
way hundreds and hundreds of years. But we have been programmed, especially in this country, to look at white is right.
White is right.
And just to put my own life into it, when I started working as a stylist, I was dressing like all the people that to me that were icons to me, like Brandy and Monica and Lala Anthony. And I'll never forget when I went to this agency, they made me feel like that the people that I was dressing wasn't enough, right? So I was like, okay. I talked to my manager at the time. I was like, well, I'm not dressing any more Black girls because I can't make it to where I want to be. I'm going to be put in this box and I'm never going to be able to do the things that in my mind I wanted to do. And I feel so ashamed every time I tell this story because I let these people make me feel like I wasn't good enough and the people I dressed wasn't good enough. And so I said, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't dress Black girls anymore. I have to start dressing white girls. And so then I left $10,000 a day to make $750 a look with this white girl that was on this huge press tour just so that these people who made me feel so low can change their perception of me and my work. And I hate myself a little bit, just a little bit, to this day for letting
that.
this people make me feel that way. We have to learn how to stop feeding into that and to say like, no, we are enough. And I think when you start to set that example and show people that, then people start to follow suit. Like, okay, we don't have to do and wear and sing and dance and do everything that they do it the way they do it because we're not them, we're different. And that's what makes us great and special is that we are just innately different, you know?
It's a little bit of a, struggle back and forth. It's like, okay, I just dressed 3 black girls. Do I need to dress another black girl? Like, this is even, and I'm just being honest, this is even programmed into my mind.
That's what we program.
That's how they program you. And I'm like, no, like, we have to be enough for each other first before they can see that we are enough for them. And that's how I feel.
Even if they don't.
Yeah.
Even if they don't. The thing about what Ade said, what she said earlier is that we set the trends, right?
Yeah.
We're good enough. I think the most powerful thing in any brand to me was FUBU, for us, by us.
Yeah.
Right? And I still live my life that way, and fall
It's almost like we have to start with ourselves.
Yeah.
we have to, that's what I'm saying. We have to
start
break
with
it.
ourselves, yeah.
How we've been programmed, we have to deprogram ourselves to think that way. I could really
No,
go on
it's
and on and on.
interesting
Yeah.
because we can flip from designing and think about styling and the people that we experience being stylists. I started out my career, I always say, working with white people. I started out with the Miley Cyrus and the Christina Aguileras and Nicole Richie and doing all these things when I first came into Hollywood. And then my career shifted to the Black culture. And I saw the difference in the respect working for those accredited people and those people that people saw as pop culture veterans to working with my clients that were all Black. And I was put in a box. And it was one of those things where it's like, when I got a white client, I remember sitting in one of the biggest agencies that exist still today, and one of the agents literally said, "How did you get here?" And that's happened all the time for me. I've had my clients tell me, hey, I got an email, they want me to work with this white stylist, because there's this idea in the styling community that if you work with a white stylist, you're gonna get further in this, best dressed breakout star look than you would with the Black stylist, but everything comes from what we're doing.
This is our dessert course. This is based off a drink called Calpco, I drank growing up. It's like a probiotic yogurt drink. And so I turned that to ice cream. There's strawberry ice. There's macerated strawberries underneath that. And on top is a meringue shard with dried strawberry powder.
Ooh.
With some strawberries.
Thank you.
Yum.
How do you balance designing trendy pieces for consumers to blend in with unique designs that encourage them to stand out? To be honest, I try not to get bogged down with what people are gonna buy or like. I just try to make beautiful clothes that I know women would want to wear. It's always a woman. And I think, because women are so powerful to me.
It's an art form. Being a woman is an art form.
Yeah, it's like something to admire, something to cherish, something to worship. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just really love women, and they inspire me. I can be down and out, and I see a well-dressed woman, and it's like, ooh.
We're so similar in that way.
Yeah.
To me, I love women too. Like, I don't love women enough to want to be one or to want to fuck one, but I love, I just love what they symbolize. And it's like, I think it's so easy to be a boy, right? We can get up, we can skip a shower, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like what women do every day, the hair, the makeup, the outfit, the strength, you know what I mean? Like, internal and external, to walk into this world being a woman, especially a Black woman, you know what I mean? It's just an art form, and it's what made me want to do what I did, like watching my grandmothers get ready for church. It started with, a bath on Saturday night, and then she'd get out and do their own nails and their own pedicures and put the rollers in the hair, and then it's the makeup, and then it's the final touch, the dress, the stockings, and it's just such an art form. It's like, you want to put them on a pedestal, and I think women should be, and especially Black women should be looked at that way. They should be revered, and,
Period.
I think
It's an absolute it's an art form.
it is, but it's like you said, how you grew up looking at your grandmother. We all grew up looking at Black women in our lives, whether it's our grandmother, our aunt, our
You too,
mom,
Chef.
like.
Or you got a strong Black woman somewhere.
Admire.
Women in our lives, right? Exactly.
Right.
But still, like I remember just watching my aunt, like growing up in New York. We would go to Alvin Ailey during the holidays. She wear her long fur, her
Yes.
red lipstick, like.
It's always one
to
fly
me-
auntie.
Yeah, oh, it's always that. But that is like admirable. Like it's like I want to grow up and do something like that. And like you said, it's just like power. Like the power you see in like the draping of it, all of it. Like, so I feel like that's like experiences we just grew up on.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I would say my design process, last question. I've never really designed into trends, like almost like what you said. I've always started to do what I feel like I don't see on the floor and in the marketplace.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah.
I think you created such a cult following in LA with Stylist because you had exactly what you're saying, what we were missing. Like nobody was doing a sexy, naked, single strap, lace up. You know what I mean? Nobody was doing that. So when we found you, we like, oh, call Jessica Rich. Like she got that same shoe in every single color.
Right.
And it's like sometimes that's what you needed to complete a look.
Right.
I promise you, one of my styling children called and said, I need a Jessica Rich in silver. He's like, do you have this one? I was like, actually, I got 3. Let me go into the boxes. And I took them out and I sent them to him. And he ended up putting, it was Colin Carter and Kelly
Yes,
Rowland.
thank you.
The silver one with the Gautier dress.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah, he was like, I just need something, a barely there shoe, nothing around the ankle. And he was like, don't you got the silver Jessica Rich? I was like, yeah, I got silver. I got the PVC. He was like, why do you still have all that? I say, just in case, for calls like this.
Yeah.
For when one of my babies needs something.
Thank you so
Exactly.
much. And I've known him for so long, like literally, like, and you've always been so supportive of my brand and all of my styles. And it's been such a great experience having others support you because even you, like I called you last week for something. So
I know.
it's definitely cool, but like I don't follow trends and things. I know what my niche is and I just don't get into that. I'm like, I'm Jessica Rich for a reason and I'm gonna stay here. And I don't care what competition. I don't believe in competition.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So guys, thank you so much for coming. This has been an amazing conversation.
Thanks for inviting us.
I feel like I've learned so much about all of you guys. I think we've made some progress.
Yeah.
Right? And we're supposed to wrap this up with a creative project. So we have all of these patches and you can draw or write whatever you want on these patches. We're gonna attach them to a denim jacket. And then that denim jacket is gonna be auctioned off and the proceeds are gonna go to the 15% pledge, which is my nonprofit.
Cute.
So
I love
let's
that.
have some fun here.
Okay.
Here in Jordan.
Okay.
Okay, while we do these patches, should we go into the last question? That's you, Chef.
Tell us about the last time you got negative feedback on your work and how you bounced back from it.
I get negative feedback on stories I write. I honestly had to stop reading comments because I find that I internalize it and then I feel like I insert less of my opinion in future stories, which then takes away from who I am. So yeah, I kind of just block it out.
Well, all my work was perfect, so I can't share that experience with you guys.
I learned very early on, if you do the best that you can do, like what other people have to say is like, okay, whatever.
Literally.
And if your best wasn't enough that time, it just wasn't for you. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
So always next time.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to it, and when people say negative things about me, I go and like their comments. So that's my kind of way. And then they're like, oh my God, you responded. I'm like, you're just looking for attention, so let me give you a little attention.
Right.
I can't stand him. I'm like, and I'm like, girl, I can't stand him either. You know, just make fun of it, and then they just kind of leave you alone.
Eventually, it just go on.
I love your answer to just kind of like it, laugh at it. You're right. Because what are they gonna do? Nothing. Like nothing. There's always backlash. I'm always getting, even if I cook a different cuisine, there's always gonna be backlash. But you just kind of like it and laugh at it, and you move on.
What should I say?
All ships rise with the tides.
Oh, it's cute.
It was George saying.
I wrote, if it's in you, it's meant to be. So I hope that inspires some of the people that you put on the jacket.
Well, I wrote, she doesn't own chic,
Oh, cute.
which is going to be the title of one of my books. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
So I want to toast to these kinds of conversations. I'm so glad we got to have them. I hope that people at home will have these conversations. I hope that consumers will start thinking differently about how they spend their money, because every time we spend $1, we're voting with those dollars, right? And what I want to see continue to thrive in this world, to be frank, is all of you guys. Love to do a toast to you.
Oh, thank you.
Toast to you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.